Hello! You've been dabbling in game development for a little while now and finally decided to start your own project. You've got some code, quite a lot of code actually, and something might be bothering you. What if you're being held hostage by French-Canadian terrorists and a rogue bullet strikes a 55-gallon barrel of poutine sauce, submerging your laptop in brown gravy and destroying your hard drive and all of your work on it? Or what if you and your friend are working on a project and both of you have, foolishly, made changes to the exact same file? Or what if your coworker goes mad and has suddenly begun to turn your game into a fan remake of 2024 adverse slop shooter Funko Fusion? I guess you just lose everything and start again, right? Wrong. Please just learn how to do version control. I'm really tired of seeing Reddit posts where people have lost their entire game because they just didn't back it up in some way. And version control is the best way to back up, as well as do a lot of other things too. Version control systems like Git, Mercurial, and others can be used as backups. They can be used to integrate work between multiple team members, can manage releases, can be used to track down who wrote what code and why, and much, much more. Every serious programmer uses version control of some sort, and it can be complicated, but the basics are so easy to pick up that I'll be able to get you set up in a few minutes here. I've made two versions of this. One simply shows how to get set up with Git in a very simple flow that will essentially function like annotated backups. And the second one that's in a lot more depth and will cover some more advanced workflows like for collaboration and such. I did this because I think some people are going to see a 25-minute long video and freak out and think it might be complicated, when really I can get you started in 5 minutes, and I'd rather you just get started than you listen to me talk for a long time. You're watching the short one, so let's get started. To set up Git, we're going to need to set up 3 components, and we're going to speed run this so you can see how fast it can be. We need Git itself, a GitHub account, which is technically optional, but we want some sort of online service to store your repo. We want a GitHub client. There is a command line client that will come with Git, but I think newer programmers will prefer a graphical interface. Check if you have Git already. Open up a command prompt window and type git space -v. If it says Git's not found, that means you don't have Git. If it says something, that probably means you do have Git, which means you can skip this next step. If you don't have Git, you can go to git-scm.com, install Git. If you just click to download for whatever operating system you have, you can just run through the wizard. Almost all of the defaults are fine. I think you want to click on the one that says to add a bash profile to Windows. Other than that, you can just accept all of the defaults and it should work okay. And that should just install Git. You may need to reopen your command line window now, but if you do that and then type in git-v, you should now get a version number, something like this. Now let's set up a GitHub account. GitHub is the most popular Git host. It's free to start on. So just go to github.com and you can go through the process of making a free account. Free accounts have tons of options. You can still make private repos. You can still use it basically however you want. Go through those steps and verify your account. Then when you finally are able to sign into your account, it should look like this. We're going to make your first repo. We can click on create repo. We will give it a name. Doesn't matter what it is right now, but you could name it your game name. Description is good. Then the important thing here is choosing visibility. If it's a private project, please make it private. If it's public, everyone can see it and download it. So just be careful about that. The other really important thing is to add a git ignore. I think you can just search up the engine you're using or whatever framework or whatever. Use Godot, so I'm going to pick Godot here, but there are ones for Unreal, Unity, etc., etc. All the git ignore does is specify exactly what files to never put in Git. We are going to come back to this when we look at passwords. That's your GitHub account set up. Let's download a GUI client. So we can go to GitHub Desktop here, desktop.github.com, and download it. This should be a really quick install that will just set up a visual desktop for you. There are tons of other Git clients, so if you prefer something else, that's totally fine, but this one's well integrated. It will ask you to sign into GitHub with your credentials. Once you are authenticated, it should have access to all of your repos, and you should be able to pull them, push them, and everything. You can see in your repositories, if you finished making your first repo, it should be there. So you can click on that, and then you can click on clone, and then that should let you make a version of that repo that is local that you can work on. Cloning the first repo, perfect. Now, what you can do if you have a game project already made, which I do, is you can just drop that folder into the repo folder. So let's do that. So I have a game project folder. There's nothing really in this game project. I'm just going to paste it in here. I think it's okay to have it in a subfolder. That's a choice you can make. You'll see all the changes that were made for this game project. And because we have gitignore, it ignores anything that is auto-generated by Godot, so it can be a little bit easier to read what has changed here. Anyways, I'm just going to make a commit here. You can type in a name for it and click on commit. And now you'll see that where it says push origin up there, there's a 1. That means you have one commit that the GitHub repo doesn't have. And then if you press that push, you should be able to go up here and you can see that all of your files are now up in Git. Now, if you go to another computer and do the same steps and then pull this repo, you will have all of that information, all of that code. All right, let's deal with stuff like passwords. You might have passwords or API keys or something like that in your repo. You need to make sure you never, ever put those onto a repo, even if you overwrite them, because the history still exists. The way to do that is to use gitignore. You can edit gitignore with any text editor and make sure you just add the name and path of your password file. And you'll see that now it does not pick up your passwords and gitignore has been updated. So you just save that, commit gitignore. Whenever you want to put this on a new computer, just make sure you have your passwords stored somewhere else that is safe. And you'll want to be able to copy your password file in manually. You might have to re-import your Godot project just because the path might have changed. That's easy enough. It should work just fine once you do fix that. Cool, and then like the power of Git here is it will keep track of any changes you make. So let's make a new script here, and you can see, I'll just call it test script, doesn't matter. And we can put some nonsense changes in here. I'll just say math equals 2 + 2. And then if we save that and we go to our Git client, you'll see that we have some changes here. They are the script itself, plus some metadata, and also the fact that it's been added to our scene file. And then we can commit that, we can push that, and that will be updated again in our GitHub repo. And then the more powerful thing is if you make line-by-line changes. So if we change math to be 2 + 1, if we look at our commit history, it will only show us that. So this is really one of the big powers, is you can see exactly what gets changed from each commit to each commit. And that's really all you need to do for the basic flow of Git. You can come back later or watch the longer video I made to understand more useful collaboration techniques, etc. But this will generally save your stuff from being wiped out if your hard drive blows up. Git's a pretty safe place to store stuff. It handles code, text, and like serialized resources like JSON and XML very well. It can handle things like 3D models and textures okay. You won't get really good line diffs, but it can still store them. Very large files, like your really big 3D models, really big textures, sounds, and videos, that can be a bit of a problem sometimes. So be aware if you're making a really high fidelity project. Putting up things that are many gigabytes large might be a problem. But if you're making a smaller indie game, putting up small textures and stuff is never going to be an issue. Just make sure you never, ever, 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 ever commit passwords or API keys, even if it's a private repo, because private repos sometimes do go public, or you might add people to the project, etc., and they can find those keys in the history. So don't do that, ever. If that was useful, please subscribe. I will see you next time. Goodbye.